This is called Take My Hand. By the gates of Sassafras, where the emerald waters spilled into the hyacinth choked cove, we hid the boats of ormolu and amber, their scalloped ivory oars resting in their locks. And like Hylas, who was turned into an echo by the nymphs to hide him when they had ravished him, we were lost to ourselves, shedding and donning the attributes of strangers and companions without even a moment's audition, secure that none of it mattered as much as the simple fact that it was moving, and in moving gave every promise that it was part of a greater dance, and that it rippled out to shores where we might never go when influenced, and were in turn influenced by them. In this fragrant, echoing coal, in this sparkling company, riveted by the same unspoken questions, and in the grasp and thrall of the same appetites. Hylas, who went to fetch water, was never seen again. Aeschylus, who threw himself into the sea for the love of Hesperia, who died running from him, bitten by a poisonous snake. Aeschylus, who continued to dive into the sea even after he was transformed into a bird by Theseus to save him, carrying a perfectly even cover of air below with him, so he appeared brilliant quicksilver under the waves. Thus were we. The face of the cliff descended into the far reaches of the cove, and in it a tall entrance, the water beginning to fall over round rocks in a narrow stream to an underworld lake with a ceiling that sparkled amethyst, labradorite, and gold. Then another opening with tympanum arch vaults seeming to writhe with figures, now animal, now man, now plant, bird, gem, tuber, root, tooth, and eye. Here the waters were calm, transparent, fading into depths with alcoves, waving moss. In the center, the goddess, as round as a large oak, and tall as a house, green, jewel beetle green, malachite green, bright algae and velvet green, a robe soft and permanent, round shoulders, a gathering look. My little boat made its way past this sight, pointing to it like a compass, and drifted to a stone stairway cut into the side of the chamber, leading to a small rough opening. Outside, the stars were shining now. Time had slid in some way that I could not follow. The goddess figure was so silent, I expected her to impart more, but her blessing was unsegmented into words, an envelopment or a mantle for the journey ahead, a mother's farewell, really. I went up the stairs myself on a ledge, halted just where I felt this was the beginning of a journey. I took in a vast black valley, no steeper than that, a chasm, the far side only a stone's throw, the river below no more than a scratch on the bottom of a pewter tankard. My breath stopped. Across from me, addressing me only with his gaze, a naked, burned black and starved by fasting figure sat, robes open to the weather and unraveling, falling into tatters from time, wind, and rain. How long had he been sitting there? I could see every rib and vein standing out as they crossed his ribs. The figure content, holding some moment, waiting for a promise, a condition to be fulfilled before the sun could rise in this cold place. Almost out of sight in the distance, to the right, and what I took to be the east, I could just make out the entrance, the tall opening, in the cliff. The monk continued to gaze ahead, and Eagle rode a steady updraft between us at shoulder height, and then pivoting to look away to where the entrance in the cliff was. I could think of no way to get there. This is where sleep took me. In my sleep, a beautiful woman approached, shedding her clothes as a demonstration of sincerity. She came nearer and said, "Soon you will find true love. Take this luminous stone and polish it every night, wishing for a companion. When you have polished it until you can see her face in one of the facets, a message will come to you where to look. Do not fear, this may take years. It comes by grace when least expected. There is no way to earn it, but you must be open, you must be alert." Walter Anderson. Take my hand and listen, Rilke says. Everywhere transience is plunging into the depths of being. It is our task to imprint this temporary, perishable world into ourselves so deeply, so painfully, and passionately that its essence can rise again invisibly inside us. We are the bees of the invisible. We wildly collect the honey of the visible to store it in the great golden hive of the invisible. Then she spoke further, walks with me silent out of the night. These are words we dimly hear. You, sent out beyond your recall, go to the limit of your longing. Embody me, flare up like a flame, and make big shadows I can move in. Let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror, just keep going. No feeling is final. Don't let, don't let yourself lose me. Nearby is the country they call life. You'll know it by its seriousness. Give me your hand. This last is I wrote. I was shown a beautiful pavilion with emerald floors and brass walls. Wind blew, and nearby, and a nearby tree hung with crystals played something like music with its branches gently swaying. Behind me, a vast hall filled with light, where all these dazzling white sculptures seemed to gaze out at me from behind high glass doors. All this will be yours. Just be patient. This last is me, wish fulfilling an ending to the first section, which ends at the beginning. That is where the piece ended in the journeying session. In the session, there was a pause and then a final message. The journey session is just a trance induced with the drum beat, really no more than that. But that day it took. A figure came and offered a window screen that had sprouts on it, like the ones in sandwiches, only bigger. And silently I got that I was supposed to pick one. It was more a commitment ceremony. I had no idea about one from the other sprout. This was very reassuring because I had started getting prompts, nudges over things like the image of an infant going by on the bus, on the magazine in the checkout, and this was repeated, it seemed, every time I turned my head. But because I was living out of the back of a Pinto station wagon and sleeping in a friend's garden shack, I thought all that would happen when things settled down. "Ha," said life. In a matter of months, she was on the way. That took that turned into a big deal, to put it mildly. And there's a picture of Gloria. Oh my. I'm going to get this button to work again.